Welcome back to Without a Doubt, the podcast, a podcast where we celebrate living life authentically and organically as ourselves. We're the ones who believe in creating our own paths and living our truths out loud. Join in on an honest and open conversation about self-discovery and growth. I'm your girl, Mad, your host. I'm a freelance entrepreneur, a 30-something-year-old human that has never exactly done what was expected of me. I'm a sprinkle of reality, glimmer of sunshine, and pretty much as unfiltered as they come. I'm here to remind you that it's okay to live life differently and that you don't have to be what is expected of you, that your happiness, it matters. This week, friendships, who I'm friends with and who I still talk to and blah has come up multiple times in conversations. And I really feel like this had to be this week's episode. I do think that a lot of people think or would say that I have a lot of friends. But I really feel like I just have a handful of solid friendships. I have a ride or die bestie, and I have a fuck ton of people who I happen to know a lot about that might have been my friends at one time. Having friendships requires emotion and energy. Having friends requires time, understanding, trust, loyalty, boundaries, support, and more of those kind of things. Some friendships are going to be easier than others. Some friendships are going to be more low maintenance, and you might prefer a different friendship style than others. I truly do believe that not all friendships are forever. I have started experiencing this more so now than ever, as I myself I've started pulling away from relationships that just don't seem to serve me. Or things that just don't feel good. That included breaking up with a best friend, and I was actually really ready to let that go for way longer than I held on to it just for the sake of not hurting her. But either way, it did suck. And honestly, I'm happy I did what I needed to do. You can outgrow people and friendships. I'm sure you've heard of that. There's a reason, a season, or a lifetime for friends. And I do believe that we have people and friends that are exactly that. If you're listening in and we've drifted or we aren't what we used to be, just know I still care for you and I love you. And I think that we did serve a solid purpose, our friendship at the time, whatever it was, but us not talking now doesn't mean that we have beef. At lunch this past week with my grandma and my aunt, they made a comment about a meme that I shared saying, unfollowing doesn't mean beef. Limited access doesn't mean beef. Boundaries doesn't mean beef. Growing apart doesn't mean beef. Periods of solitude doesn't mean beef. Separate paths doesn't mean beef. We're not entitled to anyone's energy. And it's almost like I felt like they were asking me to spill the tea. Tell me what's going on. And like, honestly, nothing is fucking going on. That meme just happened to really resonate with me. And I think social media makes you think like you need to engage or you need to follow and keep up and be friends with everybody. And I've actually unfollowed, muted, blocked even more people than I probably know, like in real life. I probably block more people that I know, than I don't know. Simply because like a lot of these accounts just don't serve me. And I think like the explanation of this, not that I even need to give one, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. It's like at one time, I feel people were just keeping up with the Joneses. Like that was your family, the people in your bubble, your neighbors, the people that you saw more so on a daily basis. But now with social media, it's like you feel the need to follow the girl from your first period in high school that maybe you talked to a few times, or maybe even your high school bestie. Like for me, I graduated 15 years ago. Like I'm asking you, like, are you following these people because you truly care or you're just fucking curious or you're nosy? Like, so I unfollowed, a lot of people that I know or people that I don't really talk to, or I don't really care what's going on in your bubble. I know. Like I do happen to follow more online friends than I do real people, I think, that I actually know. I know this sounds harsh, but it's not serving me. Your family is cute and shit. And like, I'm glad that they're taking their first steps and eating avocado, but I haven't talked to you since high school. So why am I following you? Like your life doesn't affect me and doesn't make me, I'm not really that interested in your family. Sorry, not sorry. But like, I do believe that following accounts that make you feel better, they make you smile, they make you feel human, you can relate, you enjoy their content. Maybe you do like the mommy first step things. That's for you. But for me, no. Like, do you actively engage and talk on your social media friendship accounts, or are you just a silent lurker? Are you my friend if you don't even bother to engage with me? Like, are you engaging on my content? Are you hearting my shit once in a while? Are you saying, hey girl, love this? Like, are you just watching because you're fucking nosy? like back to my question, do you really care? And I think a lot of people like at one time probably were my friends. And like, I always like to ask, like, what really is a friend? I think most of us are social media peers at this point, right? We watch, we think we know, and then we say, oh, this is my friend. I know her. Off my little rant. Sorry, I know. We used to be friends, we use this term way too loosely, but I think there's like a lot of types of friendship and they are all different depending on the nature, the depth, the relationships. And there are some different types of friendships, right? There's a lot of different friendships. I've had a handful of friendships, like casual friendships. These are the typical acquaintances, the peers, right? You interact with occasional here and there. They could even be like your neighbors. They could be a coworker and it could be a classmate. It could be something like that. Could be something, it's a loose friend. Then there's close friendships. Like these are the deeper connections, your BFF, not your BFF. These are close friendships. These are the deeper connected trust. Like you understand each other, you get each other, you emotionally support each other. You know they're going to be there for you. Like they're usually there for you in challenging times, but you invite them out to your birthday dinner. Those are your close friends, right? The people that you know will be there at your wedding. Then there's childhood friendships. Like these are your friendships that you form when you were a kid. Like, you're thinking of one right now. I am. You've shared those memories when you were a child, like early years. My very first best friend, Jordan, love you, girl. I don't even think she listens to this, but she was my best friend for a long time. And we were BFF. And like, she was my very first best friend. And I always think about her. And I think we'll always hold a special part in each other's lives. Like her dad passed away I think maybe 2020 it was. And we still I went to the funeral. Like, and I don't talk to her. Can't even tell you the time I talked to her before then. Anyway, there's also long distance friendships. And these are friendships that are maintained, by keeping up through FaceTime, Instagram, always talking to them, calling them. I've had really great long distance friendships. I think those work well for me because I don't really care to play catch up all the time. Like I can just send you a message. Hey, miss you, love you, blah, blah, blah. I think it's like I guess you are playing catch up essentially with your long distance friends, but everybody can make it work. Those friendships are really great friendships. There's also online friendships with technology and everything going on social media. Like you can make friends with people online a lot easier and you can nurture those friendships a lot easier. These friendships are built off of like common interests and activities or things that you follow, like, and do within the social media. And I have great examples on these. And Emily, girl, thank you for listening to every single one of my podcast episodes. Emily, never met her in real life. She had a baby this past year. I met her from following her on Instagram and we have become friends. I've talked about her multiple times because she's become a friend. She's my online friend. I actually call her my IG BFF, my Instagram BFF. And our friendship and relationship is just very supportive. She's been there for me. I don't think I do much for her, but maybe I do. Emily, do I help you out, girl? I love Emily. Love you. We met online and one day we will meet in real life, but I think it's so cool that I could do that. I also have a friend named Noor who I actually know in real life. And I think we met in middle school. And honestly, I think about her all the time because we used to engage on AIM and AOL and we used to chat. And I guess like in high school, maybe we lost touch and disconnected. And then recently in the last 5 months, 3 months even, we have reconnected on Instagram. And now we talk pretty much like a few days a week. And it's been really exciting to kind of reconnect and actually catch up and see how cool her family is. I do like people's families, by the way. It's nice to see people that you truly care about and their families grow. But, maybe at first I was interested to see like, what is she up to? But now we talk about like legit human things in life and how many things we actually do have in common, but we haven't talked in almost 15 years. So it's really cool. My online friends, right? There's also work friendships. And I think a lot of people have these. Your work BFF, your work wife, your work husband, like in those professional settings, you usually grow and gravitate towards someone. Those people provide you with support because they understand what's going on in your work bubble. Like they get that camaraderie in the workplace. And my favorite work friendships, I think, have been some of my really great friendships that have carried on into my close friends bubble. So I think that's cool about work friends. A lot of times you realize how much those people can be for you. Best friends. And I think these are your most closest, most intimate. and often referred to, the BFF. You and your BFF share a bond of trust and understanding, and you consider this person like family. A lot of times your BFF, your best friends, could also be considered your ride or die. Shout out to you, Ivis. She is my been around. We've been best friends, I don't know, longer than 12 years now, and very unlikely pair the two. And I think maybe that's what makes the united of best friends so great. You guys have to be polar opposites, but having a best friend is great. And I think not everybody has this. It's hard to find a best friend, and it's hard to find someone that you trust. My best friend happens to be my ride or die. You ever think about what you would do if you were trapped in a crazy scenario and you needed someone to help you hide a body? Yeah, that is my BFF. That is my ride or die. I'm calling Ivis. I shouldn't even say that now. Now they are going to go to Ivis if I do something bad. It's important to note that these types of friendships are not mutually exclusive, and that a person can have friendships that fall into a few different categories. Like I said, my work friends became my close friends, and I think the nature of your friendships will evolve, change, and over time that might happen to evolve. And I think I noticed this, I'll talk about my cousin real quick. She had her baby, and I know she says that she feels like a lot of her friendships have changed. People will see her differently with her child and baby. And I get it. And I think that's the one way I think about it. When it's things change, you have kids, you move into a new chapter of your life. Are your friends still moving with you in those chapters? And I think that's sometimes when a lot of friendships tend to fizzle and fade. I think there's a lot of expectations in friendships, and those do vary from person to person. And it is very common to have these expectations for your friendships. And let's talk about some of these expectations, right? One of them is having trust and loyalty with your friends. That means confiding in someone, sharing your secrets, and knowing those secrets and knowing your friend's not going to share that. Being there for one another through thick and thin, zero judgment. The mutual respect, you got to treat each other good. Be respectful, value each other's time, boundaries, opinions, feelings. I think that's very important in a friendship. You have to respect the differences each other's have. Even if you guys don't necessarily always agree on things, you have to support your friends' choices and things. It's important to maintain that relationship. You have to communicate and listen, and being honest and open about maybe how you're feeling towards your friends. I think letting them know maybe you need some time off. And I think communicating with your friends, letting them know, when people are I cancel plans, I think it's okay to cancel plans. Tell your friend, be I really just need downtime. And I think one of the cool things, my BFF, she can just sit on her phone with me, and we can just sit around on our phones and smoke weed and chill and not talk. And that can be downtime. But I think a lot of times that means just being honest and being I'm just not really down for company. And my BFF doesn't ever pressure me and when I'm not feeling like doing something. So I think it's being able to communicate that with your friend. Hey, I'm not in the mood today, or I'm just feeling like this. Express your thoughts, and do that, like I said, respectfully, no judgment. That means feeling comfortable to share your personal feelings. We keep saying that. Feeling comfortable. Your friendship should feel comfortable, and they should support you. They should have empathy for you. I know these are a lot of expectations. I feel like I'm already throwing in the air, but friendships are relationships that we have to work on. And this means if you're working for support, you've got to be there to celebrate success, be the shoulder to lean on if maybe they're having a bad day, shitty day, a tough time. Be fucking compassionate towards everybody's struggles, even if maybe you don't understand. And I think that's one of those things, being supportive. It's engaging with your friends, that social media thing where we just get lost and you just see their stuff. Like it, comment, let them know that you see it. You watch your podcast, send them a message. Hello, love this. Comment on their TikToks that they make. Doing what you can do to support means liking, engaging on the social media aspect too. If you're sitting there scrolling, trust me when I feel you, people feel that support. And people also feel the lack of support if you're not doing it. So I think it's interesting. And be that girl never likes my shit. People check that stuff. People she never messages me. I never hear from her. Anyway, that's brings me into reliability, dependability. We expect you to show up. That's when I fucking need you. Show the fuck up. Come through, homie. Our commitments are a thing. Do we purchase those tickets to the music festival? You better come through and pay me back. Are you thinking of someone that's flaked on you right now or doesn't even hold true to these things? I know it's important. You need to have that reliability and dependability. Friends do things sometimes that make them uncomfortable and they expect you to come on through. And I think it's important that if a friend is telling you a secret, you're not blabbing fucking around to everybody. They're sharing that with you and they feel it's important to you. And I think this makes me really think of something that was so important. I had a friend. We don't really talk anymore. And you know what I love about him is like he was learning to love himself. Might have been in his 40s, and he shared with me that he was coming out and loving who he was and accepting his sexuality. And like, he came to me and shared that with me. I wrote that in my gratitude journal. And like, I was so full of gratitude that someone shared those feelings with me that maybe they weren't comfortable sharing with other people. Those conversations hold such a special meaning. And I think it's important that if somebody's sharing that stuff with you, there's no reason really for you to share it with anybody else. It's their job to share it with everybody else. It's your job to hold it and love it and embrace it and feel grateful that they let you have that. You also need to find friends, right? Friendships with the expectations that you like the same things, more or less, same activities. You share common interests, yo. Like, hello, you do similar things. I think that's what bonded me and my best friend is we love music. I can't really think of anything else we like to do, to be honest. We love music. We love live music. And she has come far out of her bubble to do things that I don't think she would have ever done if maybe we weren't like friends, maybe. But she loves Disney. I'm not a huge Disney person. Like, we're not the same people, but we enjoy spending time together. We love doing random things like music festivals or going to see, once again, DJs and concerts and taco nights. We have things, but I also have friends that I really enjoy doing yoga with and playing tennis with. And you know, that those common interests are what's going to keep you guys together. I recently saw this thing on Instagram that as we grow older, we stop having experiences with our friends because you end up doing more things with your partner, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend. And that made me think, yeah, that's true. Having friends when you're growing up, like you're going to Target together, you're getting Taco Bell together, you're, walking home from school together, you have experiences, So if you're doing things with your friends, like going to the beach, going to play tennis, working on similar projects, that's going to kind of keep you more unified and together, more on the same playing field, rather than you're always sitting down to play catch up. And I think that's why I kind of end up letting a lot of my relationships and friendships fizzle because I hate playing catch up. I don't want to tell you what the fuck I'm up to. Nothing is going on. It's crazy to think that like no news is good news. And if I have big stuff going on, I'm sure I would share that. And I think, it's hard. People want to constantly play catch up. And I think we should be all working together and doing fun things and experiencing life so that you're not necessarily having to play catch up with your friends, but you're creating moments that you can burn into your brain and think about in your day to day. Each of your friendships are unique, and that's essential to have open and honest conversations and making sure like everybody's on the same page. Once again, same playing field instead of catching up all the fucking time. I know I've had friendships that would think that I would just be mad at them because we haven't talked in a long time or in a while. And I'd be like, why the fuck would you think I'm mad at you? Like, I'm living my life. You're living your life. Have you reached out to see what I'm up to? Like, are you making the plans? And I think we get so caught up in our own expectations of what our friendships are meant to be. And we all bring something different to the table. So I think myself, I'm more of a low maintenance friend, meaning I don't really expect a lot from you. I don't really expect you to come through all the time. Like, you have a life and I'm grateful that you're here, but I'm grateful for the moments I get to spend with you, but I don't want to ask you for help all the time because I know you have a life. And I like to think I'm supportive of my truest friends' endeavors. Like, I do have that cat-like attachment style where I saw this on Instagram as well. With friendships, it says, it's a quote. It's like, with friendships, I have what I like to call outdoor cat attachment style. Some weeks you will see me a ton. Other weeks you will not know if I'm dead or alive, but don't worry. I still love you. I will not forget you. That is basically me. I am living. Livin, living. We've been watching Survivor. And this one guy, he has that tattooed on his butt. I don't know. Just had to share that. But I'm going to leave you with this thought about friendships that maybe you've heard or you also too believe, but some friends are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Not everyone we are tight with is going to be your best friend forever. Some friendships will leave you scarred. Some are going to leave you high and dry. Some are going to come and go. Some are going to make you feel like you are so fucking awesome or become that ride or die bestie. You don't need a ton of friends to be well-versed in friendship, but I do believe friendship is focused on quality, laughter, positive energy. And I do think that your friends should make you feel like your cup is overfloweth. I think the friendships that leave you empty are the ones that need to go. You don't owe anyone anything. You owe yourself everything. This life is best lived when you can help fill other people's cups, meaning yours can't be empty in order to fill up others. This episode is dedicated to any person who has considered me a friend, allowed me to be theirs, or has walked around in my little bubble. There's so much more to come this year, more guests, more fun, more conversations from the mind of Madison. I'm so grateful you're here. Don't forget I'm on Instagram and YouTube, and you can watch all of these clips and videos. Give your girl a 5-star review. See you next week. And let me remind you that you are without a doubt a badass. Don't you forget it. Peace out and see you later.